Hello everybody, welcome to my scope here. Good morning everybody, welcome to my scope here everyone. This is Mike and I am in Beijing, China. Hey Blaine, how are you? I am in Beijing, China. Hey Elizabeth. And I am here at this most amazing scope of Mike when we leave. The most amazing. Hey Tracy. Hey good Duke. Hey Queen. You'll be here next week. Okay. Most amazing temple, and I'll explain why this temple is so unique, so interesting, and so under look. When people come to China, they don't know about it. So this is one of those places that tourists and the tour guides don't bring you. Hey Melissa, how are you? So hey, thank you Elizabeth for sharing, inviting your followers there on Twitter and on Periscope. Paciencia, I'm going to tell you. So everybody here, just a quick introduction so I'm not rude. My name is Mike. I'm an American journalist. I live here in Beijing, China, and I've been traveling around the world. And I'm in Beijing right now. China happens to be one of the countries I've traveled to. I'm working here as a journalist, but I'll be moving on fairly soon. Thanks for sharing, Melissa. So if you're interested in following my journeys, you can just tap on the number there and follow. And speaking of follow, feel free to invite your followers, invite your friends if you think they'll be interested in seeing and learning about the history of this place, this amazing temple, which is like very unique in the sense that this temple actually has Indian features to it. The revered, let me give you the history of it. The revered, hey, thank you, Happy Man, for sharing. The revered Indian monk, he was a Buddhist monk named Pandita. Hey, Hector. Pandita traveled to China in the 14th century bearing gifts for the emperor. He brought with him four golden Buddhas as a gift to the emperor. And with that, he also brought with him the blueprints for what's known as the Five Pagoda Temple. This is known as a Five Pagoda Temple. Hello. This is known as a Five Pagoda Temple, and it's also known as a Diamond Throne Temple in India. Why? Because, hey Pegs, because it has the five pagodas on the top, and if you look at the top, it's like a diamond shape, they say. And so it actually was imported from India in the 14th century when he came to, it does have, by the way, it's not purely Indian, it does have Chinese influences to it. So they mixed the Chinese influences with the Indian influences, and this is what we have. This is one of one of six five pagoda temples. You're welcome, Blue. One of six five pagoda temples in all of China. This is only one of six, and this one is the oldest. There are only two in Beijing. This is the oldest one, going back to the 15th century. 15th century. Yes, exactly, Billy. And it's based after the temple in India, where Buddha has said, hey there, Christina, where Buddha is said to have found enlightenment. So it's based on that temple where Buddha found enlightenment. It's a beautiful structure. It also today houses the Museum of Stone Carvings. So you'll see a lot of carvings around here. I'll show you that to you in a few after I'm done with the temple. But there are carvings around. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Yes. So amazing temple. Again, off the beaten path. It's not something that you see in the guidebook so much because it's a little bit off the beaten path. It's not that difficult to get here, by the way. It's very easy to get here. Thanks, Annette, for sharing. Thanks, everybody, for sharing, and thanks for the hearts, everybody. This stuff I love this temple. Love it. Love it. It's because the tour groups take you to the easy places. This is a little bit, it's near the National Library, guys. Just off the street, down an alley, and I get here. It's not that it's not popular. It's popular with Chinese, obviously. But a lot of tourists are not aware of it. But I think it's one of the most breathtaking temples. Picture it, at one point it was covered all in white marble. This temple. It's Watu. It's gone through a lot of different names over the years. Today it's known as Watu, W-A-T-U Temple. However, if you just say the Five Pagoda Temple, everybody knows what it is. The Five Pagoda Temple, everybody knows what it is. Better than watching Star Trek. Yeah. So, yes. And again, this is a very unique type of structure in China. This is a very unique type of structure. I don't think I'll be able to scope inside. I don't think there are photos allowed. So I'll get as close as possible to the Buddha. There's a Buddha right there through that red door. And I'll stand outside, but I cannot go inside and show you inside. Right at the top, on the back, on the south side of the temple, there is a 2-foot footprints that are supposedly Buddha's footprints. But I'll get close and I'll show you the details on this temple, guys. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful, quiet place. Amazing. Again, everybody feel free to please invite your followers to see this if you think that enjoy seeing this temple and learning about it. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. So look at the details here, guys. Thanks, Mets fan, for inviting. It's not a fountain, it's just a big urn that most temples have. Look at how old this Buddha is. So old. It's the real deal, guys. I'm going to whisper now. It's so ancient. See, they say no photo. So I can't take any photos inside. See? No photo. I have to stand outside, guys. But you can see it, right? Can you see it? I can stand outside and shoot from outside. I can't go inside. I mean, this is a very ancient Buddha that stood here for centuries. I'm not going to zoom in because I get problems with Periscope zooming in. I'll lose the connection. You can see. Can you see? It's okay. You all can see that, right? Hey, Gavin, how are you? Everybody. Good morning, everybody. Very old Buddha. Most Chinese are Buddhists. It's a Buddha, ancient Buddha at the Five Pagoda Temple. I'm at the Five Pagoda Temple. I'll come back to the Buddha in a minute, guys. Let me just show you the details on the facade here. 15th century, it was built in, construction began in 1473, Bodhidharma. And it's fashioned after a temple in India. So this is very unique, combining Indian and Chinese elements. Indian and Chinese elements. It's called a Five Pagoda Temple. Actually, let me go like this. I should have gone landscape earlier. You're welcome, Rowans. I'm not talking politics right now. I'm talking about the temple. Let's maybe pull back a little bit so you can see. Thank you, Keiko, for sharing. Thanks, everybody, for sharing. Let me pull back for the people who just joined so you can see what I'm talking about. This incredible 5 pagoda temple. There are only 6 of them. There are only 6. Hey, Bethany, just Bethany, how are you? This temple is goes back to 1473. 1473. 1473. Hey, Eve, how are you? Hey, Kat, thank you for inviting your followers, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Invite and share. This is my last, as I've been saying before, I'm leaving China in about a week, and I've been showing you some of the places that I really enjoy about China. I'm doing great, Bethany. Hey, Renee. And thank you, J-Boy, for inviting, and Jacob, thanks for inviting. Thank you all for inviting, all the people who've invited and shared. And so I've been showing you just the places. Thanks, Just Bethany, for inviting. Sad, bittersweet to leave. Hey, Tommy. I'm going back to the U.S. and then to Australia. Archie, thanks for sharing. It's really amazing to think of the history that went on here. Again, Pandita, who was a revered Indian monk, traveled from India to here, to China, and brought the blueprints to the 5 pagoda temple. That's how these temples were introduced. Is this Beijing? Yes. That's how these temples, just time to move on. That's how these temples were introduced to China through a revered monk by the name of Pandita from India, came here bearing gifts for the emperor, and within those gifts he had the blueprints to the 5 pagoda temple, which is also known as a diamond throne temple, which you'll see very common in India. And so with that blueprint, they didn't build it right away. It took them a while, and then with that blueprint they built this temple. This is the oldest. This temple again goes back to 1473. The year 1473. Yes, Pandita, exactly. You guys can Google Pandita. 1473. Guess this guy wants it. You're welcome, everyone. 1473 this temple goes back to, and it was introduced by an Indian monk who basically didn't really come to build a temple here. He just had the blueprints to the temple and gave it to the emperor. And originally this temple was all white marble. It was covered in white marble. So imagine it with all white. This is China, yes. It is Beijing, China, yes. Hey, Marlene, how are you? Everybody, share, because this is my last Scope days here in China. And I've been showing you some of my favorite places. Great, Marlene. My favorite, hola, Argentina, Lily. My favorite places. I can go inside, but I cannot scope inside. There are no photos allowed. I was just up on I can go to the door, the red door, and I can show you the inside show you the Buddha. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Thank you, Marlene, for sharing. Over the years, it's just, something has been stood for 1473, stuff disappears. It's just damage, people, human intervention. That's what happens. But at least the stone is still standing, obviously, a stone. Thank you for sharing, and Annette again, and Blue with W, with all. Thank you, everybody. You're going to miss China? That's an urn. right here, and all temples have them. It's supposed to like to burn incense and so on. And these are just lions, stone lions at the entrance. Thank you, everybody. This is amazing. This today is now known as the Museum of Stone Carvings. And why? Because they brought stone carvings from all over China, and this is where you can find them. And I'll show that to you in a minute. They're huge, some of these stone carvings. That's what they are, all here, all these steels here. And then on this side, these stone carvings. There's stone carvings all around the grounds here. Some really ancient ones that go back centuries. So now this is the place where they keep the stone carvings. It's like a museum right on the grounds of the Five Pagoda Temple. What this urn? Thank you, Blue. I cannot go, I can go inside, but I cannot photograph inside. I'll walk right up again and I'll show you guys the Buddha, because the Buddha is the original Buddha, and it's so nice to see the original stuff, and it's so ancient. Let me show it to you. I can stand outside. See that, guys? Can you see it? I cannot go inside and shoot photo or video. I think I put in the title Beijing, did I not? This is Beijing, China. This is Beijing, China, everybody. Again, my name is Mike, guys. If you don't know who I am, you haven't been following me. I am an American guy living here in Beijing, China. And if you want to follow my adventures, you can just click on the number there and click on my name and follow. My next journey will be to Australia. And that Buddha is very old. You can see it. It's very old. And you see the feet down there? Those are the feet of Buddhas, Buddha's feet. There's actually carved on the top. He looks like he's going to do some work. Let me pull back, show you the details here, guys, of the facade. I don't know how long I'll be in Australia, guys. I just wing it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Again, share this with your friends, share this with your followers. If you think they would enjoy, I'm going to walk around and show you from another vantage point. So stick around, guys. I'm going to show you from another vantage point the Five Pagoda Temple. Today it's known as Wuta Temple. But this temple goes back to 1473. Should I go keep landscape, or should I go this way? Which way is better? Maybe this way, so you can see the whole thing. Thanks, everybody, for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Hey, Suze, how are you? Should I stick around this way? How are you doing? Welcome. Landscape is better, guys? Okay. All right, I'll go landscape. All right, let's get another... Again, welcome everybody to the people who are just joining. This is known as a Five Pagoda Temple. Portrait is better, someone says. Okay, this is better. All right, I'll alternate. This is a temple that's one of only 6 in all of China. One of only 6. People, there's difference of opinion. Portrait, some people say landscape. Portrait? Okay, let's go portrait. Yeah, I guess portrait, you kind of get the sense of the whole thing. Yes, Australia. Yes, Australia. So anyway, my friends, this is the Five Pagoda. It's known as the Five Pagoda Temple, also known in India as the Diamond Throne Temple, because of the shape it has on top. It's a square with the 5 pagodas. And this was introduced by the revered monk Pandita.